everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for the AfroArts Fest 2021. We are very delighted to have you with us for the next about 2 hours or so. We will be bringing you wonderful performances, foods, artists from all over Africa. So this is going to be a great event. We will have a very good time supporting each other and just reconnecting with our roots, which is actually our theme this year. So my name is Dr. Lorna Were. I'm based in Maryland, and I'll be your virtual host today. Very happy to host this event. So we will move on and get you started. I don't want to bore you with talking because we will be talking throughout the event. I would like to take this opportunity just to quickly thank our sponsors, the Nigerian Independence Association of Pennsylvania, the Westchester Biotech Project, Pennsylvania Partners in Art, the PPA, Fashion Forward Citizens, CM2 Productions, and and other sponsors. I know we have other new sponsors that just came in today. We will be thanking you and mentioning you as the event goes by. We also want to thank our planning team. We will introduce them at the end of this event, and you will actually get to see a brief clip of them to see who worked really hard to put this beautiful event together. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and move on with our event, and I would like to introduce you to Sakan Nuru. Sakan Nuru is an international musician, and he does not need no long introduction, so I will just let him take it on from here. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me, everyone. It's a real honor to celebrate African music, the birthplace of music, with all of you. I'm Sakan Nuru, a musician based in the UK, and I believe today we'll be playing a song, the first song called Privilege. And a lot of my music, and the reason why I started making music, was during the Black Lives Matter movement. I felt a lot of emotions based on my past living in Botswana and being Nigerian and things of that nature. And I wanted to unpack the privileges in life that I had been afforded based on my socioeconomic status, or maybe the geographies I lived in and things of that nature. And I understood that there are some people that didn't have the opportunities that I've had in life. So I wanted to talk about these and share the feelings that I had about being privileged in some regards and also being disadvantaged in other regards. I had sort of both of these at the same time. So the song is available on Spotify and any platforms you listen to. It was uploaded last night, but you are the first crew, should I say, or group of people that'll ever hear the song. So without further ado, I'd really appreciate it if all of you could, listen to the lyrics of the song, try and ponder on them, and afterwards, if you can listen to them on any platform you listen to music on and share with your friends and family, I'd love to know more about what you think and about your privilege or position in life. So with that said, I'm not sure if it's Matthew that'll play the song, but you can kick it off. This song I wrote because of some of the advantages I've been given in life and looking at those that are well off versus those that have really struggled in life. And I wanted to share a bit of that message and how post-BLM we could start to look at our positions and how that's affected the way we look at things. It's my first rap song, so I will play it for you. You're the first audience that'll ever hear it. I hope you enjoy it. It's called Privilege. Poets and quants, I think I'm loaded and launched. Positions of vocal and staunch. We ghost and we haunt for those who are open to flaunt. It's open, we know what we want. I want a car and I want a mansion. Maybe a queen that could tell me I'm handsome. You went to Cal, I want to stand for giving a title but only a ransom. Do it alone, do it in tandem. Burial songs, no we call it anthem. Tracking my phone, no we call it standing. Privilege is given, can never be granted. Ain't in my zone, can't understand it. Is what it is, we never planned it. Beautiful kiss, just being candid. Beautiful biz, just being this is for Joshua, Beezy and Bones. None of these coppers will leave me alone. We destined to prosper, I need me a drone. Calling my doctor, I need me a bone. This is departure, I'm leaving my zone. Trying to stop it, I need me a drone. Is it my voice, is it my tone? Black and accomplished, I'm all on my own. Many a call, none of us chose. Getting so high that I counted the nose. Is it the grass, maybe a rose? Stuck in the past, you shine, you froze. Destined to fall to the cold of the water, the toil of the ground.
grasp, the bolder the flows. Is he an ass? Maybe he knows. Give him a chance, maybe he folds. The vitals are stable, he's already able. The top of the class is crazy, I know. Addicted to cash, you're giving your soul. The legacy lasts, the bigger the goal. Whispers and murmurs, the wicked and learned academy class. Giving the dough, listen to copper, the flagrant profit for all of my partners who needed a loan. We're breathing, I'm sobbing, I needed a home. I'm wheezing, I'm coughing, I'm breathing cologne. Abusing your power, heroes and cowards, you're free to empower. The keys in the dome. The keys in the dome. All suits and ties are too comfortable. Who's Fresh Prince and who's Huxtable? Who's fly by and who cut for you? Really there for you, beyond a month or two. Ain't no flash pass, you too adjustable. No fast pass, you too adjustable. No hashtag, it's how they come for you. Ain't no substitute, ain't no love for you. Ain't no love for you. I be this one, I'm moto na keke na pep. Your leaders are lying, you too they forget. Your overs are spying, your children are crying. Your hustle is dying, your palm go they sweat. I'm making it right, I'm taking the left. Because of this fight, there's nobody left. Schools are flooded because of 200. He's taking the bribe, but nobody vexed. Jesus have died, the students have wept. Giving you light, created a mess. But inside the cupboard, you righteous are stubborn. You're clicking alive, but closer to death. Whew. Damn, closer to death. Thank you so much for listening. AfroArts Festival 2021. Please check out my songs on Spotify or any other platforms you listen to music on. I'm Saka. Enjoy the rest of the festival. Take care.
Thank you very much. That was the first time I've ever performed that for anyone. So yeah, happy to take any questions or comments or anything like that. But yeah, as you can see, my eyes were closed throughout the performance. So I was very in tune with the music and what I was saying. It's a lot to go through. So you might have to slow it down or listen to it a couple times. But yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. That was a beautiful performance. And I'm so happy we were first of your, some of your first audience. So thank you very much. And I do encourage you, it was a beautiful song. Everybody who's watching, please go. You said you're on Spotify, YouTube. So you can go ahead and just put your links on the comments and hopefully we can share them with your audience at some point. And thank you so much for being so inspirational.
Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you. Moving along, we are going to move on to Mr. J.D. Adeniyi-Jones. He will be our keynote speaker for the event today. And I will just tell you a little bit about Mr. J. So Mr. J.D. is basically a practicing physician. He's based in the United States. He's also a writer of a lot of series. And I don't want to take so much away from him. I will let him do a lot more of introduction, tell you about his work, and share with you some of his readings. And as he speaks, as he introduces himself, we will have a little bit of interactive session. So if you have any questions or if you have any comments in reference to what Mr. Jida will be presenting, we do encourage you to put it up in the audience. So without wasting much time and holding everything, I'm gonna go ahead and let Mr. Jide take it on from here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Jide Adeniyi-Jones, and I'm a photographer. I spend sort of my time between Nigeria and the United States. I thought that we might have some images that we would talk about, but let me first of all, before we see the images, perhaps I'll just talk about some thoughts I had regarding this event. I'm very, very pleased with the note on which this started. I think we just had was using music in such a thoughtful way, using your aspects of culture in such a reflective and thoughtful way. And I think that's what this business, this is all about. So I was told that the theme was celebrating Africa through arts and culture. And I put down some of my own thoughts that I'd like to share with you about reconnecting to roots. I'm delighted to take part in this event, particularly so given the theme of this year's edition. A theme that I imagine resonates with most of the attendees, whom I'm told count themselves as members of our large and diverse African diaspora. The trajectory of any diaspora typically begins with the reluctant departure from one's home, either under immediate threat to life or limb, or in the quest for a better, safer prospects for yourself and your children. This certainly has been the predominant story of the growth of an African diaspora over the last 40 years. I can speak with some firsthand knowledge about Nigeria, where the ravages of a war, incompetent governance, and the attendant breakdown of security, education, and employment, and entrepreneurial opportunities led to the decimation of a middle class. And this led into large numbers of citizens fleeing in pursuit of a safer and more predictable life. As a young boy in secondary school in Lagos in the 1960s, I did not know of anyone who, upon finishing school, left the country with any objective rather than to hone their skills in their chosen field and return to make a contribution to national development. In return, the country offered the promise of a decent standard of living, prospects for advancement and security. I have lived from those days to a time when I have seen young Africans empty-handed, risking their lives in the low odds gamble to cross the Sahara Desert and the Mediterranean Sea in the quest for a better life. Most people within earshot of these remarks will not have even contemplated such a physically extreme journey, but they and their parents will have made the difficult choice to leave the rapidly deteriorating familiar for the uncertainty of a fresh start, taking with them only their talent, ingenuity, and hard work. Now, of course, everyone's story is different, but the common factor is the creation within each member of a diaspora, an old and a new reference point for home. With this grim picture that I'm painting of the creation of a diaspora, the obvious question that arises is why reconnect with Africa? What is there to celebrate in a place that you or your parents fled for survival or enhanced opportunity? This is the dilemma of diaspora. But the theme of this event identifies accurately, it is your roots. Roots, the source of your sustenance, your memories, the stories you grew up in, the sounds, shapes, colors, textures, familiar tastes, the familiar that you don't remember encountering before. These are the primal connections to your deep, safe space. And art is a vehicle to the nourishing soil that is culture. African culture, African cultures. To make the journey, I suggest that we first identify the destination, even in the loosest terms. What is Africa? Is it a thing that you're reconnecting to? Is it a place? Is it an idea? Is it a spirit? Is it a mixture of all of these? And as a destination, is it real or imagined? I think that we shall each answer these questions for ourselves. And I suspect that each answer will differ in some degree, one from the other. And of course, many of us, knowingly or not, brought Africa along with us on the trip. I suggest that our roots are the anchors to our culture. But culture is not a fixed set of rules. Rather, it is constantly evolving. It's a collective manifestation of thought, memory, knowledge, and behavior that conspire to produce wisdom that enriches our society and enables us to deal with the challenges of our time. It did that for our ancestors and is available to us. Much of culture is encoded in the aesthetic. This makes art the perfect host for its preservation and dissemination. This is why culture cannot be taken from you, but you can put it aside in favor of something that you may think is superior. Naturally, a system that enables you to survive and prosper is seen as superior to one that you left behind. But this thinking misses the point that the system that you fled is a corruption of your culture, brought about to a large extent to create and propagate the systems that we now feel are superior. This realization often leads to a yearning for reconnection. The danger, however, is that when that realization engenders resentment, either for the old or for the new situation, and resentment is pointless. We are in the diaspora here now, and understanding and connecting with our culture may be the key to flourishing right where we are. I remember the experience of a friend of mine battling in the cutthroat winner-takes-all culture of the US business world, and being able to broaden the horizons and the bottom line of his business by introducing to the board the wisdom of the sayings from his mother's culture, that people are the currency of life. This subtle change in the understanding of the board opened new realms of possibilities. And all of our languages abound with universal truths encoded in them, the application of which can make a profound impact on our situation here in our new home. One of the best known of these is the often quoted Zulu concept of Ubuntu, the full phrase being Umutu, Ngamutu, Ngabantu, literally translated to a person is a person through other people. This cultural gem is, in my opinion, a perfect place for anyone in the diaspora to start reconnecting with Africa, as I'm sure there's a saying that encompasses this concept in your language. This connection with culture is not for pride, but for progress and well-being, whether we are children of Africa, wherever we children of Africa find ourselves living. So those were the thoughts that I put down to, that I hoped would be a taking off point for reflection on these matters. I'm looking forward with keen interest to the manifestation of these connections with culture in the various presentations we're going to have. And then if there's still time and one would like to look through some of the images, I'm happy to comment on them.
Great. Thank you so much. And Matt has the images on the screen. I want to quickly apologize for the introduction. When you have a lot of great people to introduce, sometimes there's a mix-up. And like Mr. Jide said, he's based in the US and Kenya both at the same time. And thank you so much for highlighting the difficulties that come with just making the choice to migrate into a new country, new life. It may be very difficult. So I'm going to give you a chance to speak about your pictures. You can see the screen. So go ahead and tell us what this picture is about and where it was taken.
All right. I hope we can go through them quite quickly. This is an image that is on the old website of mine. It's of a woman in the Sahrawi Democratic Republic. And they are a forced, the Sahrawi are a forced diaspora. Their country was, I suppose, more or less you'd say, overrun by Morocco, and so they live in deserts in surrounding areas. And then this image I took, I think, in 1980 or something like this, when I went to spend a week in the camps in the Sahrawi Democratic Republic. And what I thought was sort of interesting about the whole work that this particular image came from was, sorry?
Yeah, we're listening. We're actually running out of time, and we have great pictures. Mark, if you can just scroll them through the video. We have less than a minute, so we will just show the rest of the pictures.
These images are. Can we move on? Let's see if there's anything else that we have. This is part of a series on a traditional festival where people from an internal diaspora come back to the place where they were born once a year to celebrate the goddess of the river Oshun in Oshobo.
Nice.
In Western Nigeria.
Sounds like a beautiful event. Great. Thank you so much for your great speech. Thank you so much for bringing to light all the points you've talked about the importance of reconnecting to your motherland, the issues surrounding immigration. So thank you so much. We're very glad to have you. And John, I know we have links to all his great work. Please post them on the comments so our audience can follow through and learn more of the great work that he is doing. Thank you so much for your time, and we are very glad to have you at the festival.
Thank you very much. And I look forward to seeing the rest of the festival.
Great, thank you. Our next up is going to be Spoken Word by our great artist, Esiosa Ajala. So I'll give you the stage and go ahead and wow our audience on our behalf.
Thank you so much for having me here. This is a beautiful space, a really great opportunity. I'm just going to be reading a poem by Maya Angelou. She was one of the greatest Black female poetry writers to be known. So once again, it's an honor to be in a space like this with such beautiful and very talented people. So I'll begin. Thoughts she had lain, sugarcane sweet, deserts her hair, golden her feet, mountains her chests, 2 Niles her tears. Thus she has lain, black through the years, over the white seas, rime white and cold, brigands, ungentled, icicle bold, took her young daughters, sold her strong sons, churched her, bled her with guns. Thus she had lain. Now she's rising. Remember her pain. Remember the losses, her screams loud in vain. Remember her riches, her history slain. Now she's striding, although she has lain. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. I love Maya Angelou. Her words are usually very powerful, especially to women. And, she's one great artist that reconnects to our roots in a very special way. So thank you so much.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I was actually supposed to go earlier, but I needed to tend to some last minute ticket registrations. But I wanted to formally welcome everyone to the AfroArts Fest 2021. My name is Violet, and I'm the program manager for this year's event. So I'd like to thank everyone for coming. I know we have various individuals and presenters calling in from across the United States, some in Africa, the UK, and other parts of the world. I'd like to thank my amazing planning team for all your help in putting this event together. We really couldn't have done this without you. Nancy, Chi, Michael, Elilima, Mrs. Bell, Zanita, Sofina, Roslyn. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone's names. If I did, I apologize. But we really couldn't have done this without you all. So to give a brief history of the AfroArts Fest, about 7 years ago, NIAPA, the Nigerian International Association of Pennsylvania, began to incorporate African art as part of its banquet. And in 2019, it was the Africa or Afro Fest, which was held physically in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania. So as of 2020, the event, NIAPA pulled together a team of African individuals and organizations to launch an Africa Arts Festival with these conglomerate groups. So however, we had to cancel the 2020 event as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. And then come 2021, the AfroArts Fest was rebranded. It went from Afro Fest to AfroArts Fest, and which is what brings us all here today. It has united people from the UK to Canada to Zimbabwe, to plan a special day to celebrate African art, even though we can't all be in the same place at the same time, at least physically. But we are grateful for all the amazing people that you will meet today, some of whom you've already met earlier. And I encourage everyone to stay till the end to hear the announcement of what the AfroArts Fest team will be doing in the future with our online and live programming through partnerships like Westchester Biotech. So we have a great lineup of presentation for you today. My team and I, we've worked to bring you a show we hope warms your hearts and properly reflects this year's theme, which is Africa Reconnecting to My Roots, and also brings each and every one of us closer to Africa, the mother of all lands, and her influential art forms. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Lorna Were, who's our MC. We've already met her, but I do want to formally introduce her. She is a family practitioner practicing in Maryland. She specializes in chronic complex disease management, addiction treatment, and hospice care. She is the founder of IPLEAA, which is an organization doing medical missions in Kenya and free clinics in Baltimore. So Dr. Were, if you're able to put the link to your organization so we can all take a look, but I'll turn it over to you now so you can take over. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you for that introduction. So moving along, we have had very great performances, but we have more for you. It's gonna be a great event. Coming next is the Obioma fashion. The Obioma fashion makes pieces that use the vibrancy of Ankara fabric, like the beautiful one I have on here, and modern silhouettes from American fashion to create new original design. Nice. Nice, beautiful pieces. So thank you so much for the beautiful presentation. Again, we will be posting in our link on the chat, the website and how you can get to buy those beautiful pieces by Obioma Fashion. Thank you so much for being part of the AfroFest 2021 and also being one of the event sponsors. Moving along, we have Dr. Quay Jones Cote. Dr. Cote is a crime and fiction writer and a physician based in Pasadena, California. Cote was born in Ghana, West Africa, to a Ghanaian father and a Black American mother, both of who were lecturers at the University of Ghana. As a crime and fiction writer, Quay made the Los Angeles Times bestseller list in 2009, and in 2010, the National Book Club voted him Best Male Author. His Detective Inspector Darko Dawson and female PI Emma Jean series are set in Ghana. The Missing American, first novel of the Emma Jean series, was nominated for 2021 Edgar Allan Poe Award for Best Novel of 2021. And in the 2021 Shamas Award for the Best PI Novel. You can reach him on Instagram. He's on Facebook. We will post all those to the audience. But without wasting more time, I'm going to let Cote take over and just tell us more about his work. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothy. It's a pleasure to be here. This is turning out to be a wonderful festival so far. As Dorothy said, I'm Quay Corte. I'm the author of 2 murder mystery series set in Ghana. One is the Darko Dawson series, and the other is the Emma Jan series. And what I do is, while there's a lot of very fine literature about the African immigrant experience in, say, the US and the UK, I choose to present Ghana sort of on its own terms without having to use the dissonance between, Western and African cultures. And I do it with murder as a backdrop because, well, first of all, I just love murder mysteries. And secondly, murder is always an opportunity to explore some of the deepest passions that people have. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read from my novel, which is called The Missing American. And in this story, a man by the name of Gordon Tilston, an American, goes to Ghana in search of his online romantic object, only to discover she doesn't exist. And then sometime later, he actually disappears, and his son comes to Ghana and asks for help from Emma Jan and the agency she works for. And in this scene, they go on the trail looking for him and asking one of the people who took care of his room in a bed and breakfast, which is close to the Volta River, which is spanned by the famous Adome Bridge. So here goes. Emma and Soa followed Labram into the heart of Atimpoku. It was a linear town hugging the road on either side in the north-south direction. Its eastern portion sloped down to the river, while the western part rose steeply uphill. Growth and expansion were apparent, with multiple new homes under construction on the hillside. Labram's house girl lived on the east side of the town, sharing a compound with several neighbors. Conversing and laughing, 3 women were cooking in the open space while a half-dozen kids of all ages ran or crawled around in play. A few goats chewed placidly on whatever goats chew on. Chickens pecked at the dirt with exploratory noises, and skinny stray dogs cautiously approached the cooking area in the hope of a few scraps. A radio was playing religious highlights somewhere. Labram greeted the group in Ewe. They responded in unison, and one of the women let out an exclamation of surprise when she saw him. She dropped what she was doing, wiped her hands on her rag, and hurried to where Labram and his two guests were standing. She shook his hand with a slight curtsy. "Hey, Papa," she said with a luminous smile. "Hueso." Labram introduced her to Emma and Soa. "This is my house girl, Kafui." They exchanged greetings. Emma was staring at the baby on Kafui's back, an exquisite boy with a perfectly round head and big dark eyes with lashes that curled up as if by some artificial device. "I want a baby like that," she thought. "What's your baby's name?" she asked Kafui in Tree. "Please, his name is Yao." Kafui glanced behind her to smile at the child snug and safe on her back, and then directed a couple of the older kids to place 4 chairs in a shaded spot. "Please have a seat," Kafui invited her visitors, taking hers after them. A girl of about 8 years old materialized with a tray of 3 sachets of water that she offered to the guests. While it would have been rude for Labram to launch immediately into the purpose of the visit, neither was it Kafui's place to ask. The social hierarchy was sharply defined. Labram was her employer and a lot older than she was. So the first 5 minutes was spent in pleasantries punctuated by some gaps of silence, not considered awkward in any way. Kafui looked distressed. "But what could have happened to him?" Labram said, "We are worried someone went to the house and took Mr. Tilson away somewhere." It was at that instant that Kafui's expression changed abruptly. Apparently something had struck her with the force of lightning. "What's wrong?" Labram asked. Eyes down, Kafui pressed her fingers to her lips as one gripped by a sudden dreadful thought. "I saw something." "You saw something?" Soa asked. "How do you mean?" "Early that morning around 2 o'clock, Kafui began explaining, "Yao wouldn't sleep, so I took him for a walk to the roadside. While we were there, I saw an SUV turn onto the Adome Bridge. When it reached about halfway, it stopped, and I saw 2 men get out. They opened the boot and dragged something out of it in a long sack. The way they were carrying it, I could see it was heavy. It even looked like it could be somebody inside. They took it to the side of the bridge and threw it over into the river." "Why did you think maybe there was someone in the sack?" Emma asked Kafui. Kafui's eyes misted. "I saw it move." For several moments, no one said a word. Kafui began to sniff and dab her eyes with a handkerchief. Clearly, she was feeling overwhelmed. Emma went to her side and dropped to her knees. "Are you okay?" "I pray it will not be the white man," Kafui said, her voice shaking. She had voiced just what everyone in the small group was thinking.
Wow, you got me there for a minute. That's a beautiful book. Hopefully I get to read it.
Thank you.
Is that the one you said is actually a series?
Yes, that is the first. The Missing American is the first in this Emma Jan series. There are now 2. The second one is Sleep Well, My Lady, and I'm working on the 3rd one right now. I'm supposed to hand in the manuscript at the end of this month, as a matter of fact.
Any plan to bring it on screen?
Oh yes, lots of plans. Stay tuned.
That is wonderful. Thank you so much for being part of the AfroFest and sharing your beautiful work. You know, hopefully we can get links on the comments of where we can get the books.
Yes.
Because they sound pretty interesting and intense.
Yeah.
You got me there for me a moment. I was waiting to see what happens next. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you. Anyway, moving along, we have our next performer who's gonna be Ibinyeka Alao. Mr. Ibinyeka is actually an artist. He does a lot of paint work and is surprisingly or excitingly working on the world's longest painting. So hopefully at the next AfroFest next year, we're gonna be talking about how he's gotten into Guinness Book of World Record as the longest painting, basically. Hopefully when he comes on, he can tell us how long it's been going on so far. He's also used his art journey to help people who are impacted by COVID. Basically, art is beautiful. It lifts the spirit. It's a hobby that you can pass time with. We've all been really isolated during COVID. We have to stay home, can't visit, can't spend time with friends. So he's been using his art to basically help some of us cope during that difficult time. Without saying much, I'm going to let Ms. Ibiyenka take it from there. Thank you. Wow. Those are beautiful pieces, very colorful.
This book that is published by Scholastic, Ibis Fireflies. So it's named after me because, I mean, obviously it's the story, it's the same story. And so when it was published in 2016, I worked on it with these children, at the school. And so Scholastic, they just have this contest whereby they are looking for the best children's story of the year. And so that's how it became it, because a lot of the children, I guess, could connect with the story. So when Scholastic makes a publication like this, it goes all over the world, literally. And so I started getting a lot of feedback, a lot of notes, sometimes emailed, sometimes Facebook messages, because that is more social, so a lot of people get to see things on Facebook. So they will write me from Japan, from Spain, from Namibia, from South Africa, from just every place in the world, expressing just what the story meant to them. So no matter what you do in life, I mean, if what you do is significant to you, which should be, or even if you pick dirt and somebody comes and says you win the first place in the whole wide world in it, like you will pay attention to it. Like, so I started, thinking that, wow, that this story means so many things to so many different people. So, and I had, of course, conceived the idea of the musical. So when I make a painting, I'm not, it's just the process of creation for me. It's not, I don't think of them differently when I make a painting. I'm also making the musical. I'm also writing the musical at the same time. So each color, each stroke means a dramatic act for me. So I describe art as frozen music. So the idea of, I mean, it's easy for a lot of people to separate what is visual art from the performing art, but for me, it's just not possible. Like, they come as a package. So since I was little, I've always written musicals and painted pictures. So my parents did show me a lot of, my dad took me to see some live, Yoruba plays, which really, maybe that's part of what also inspired me thinking this way. And yeah, so so this is called Eternity Icon, a supernova of fireflies. So this residency itself was built around producing the musical. So in Northwest Arkansas here, it's turning into a very artistic community. It's the headquarters of 3 major companies: Tyson, Walmart, and JB Hunt. So it's unlike the rest of Arkansas. It's there's a lot of funding that has gone into the art in this area. So they contacted me, and they were looking for an artist that has, according to them, that has a different point of view or a different perspective on what is generic in the art. So, and they were also looking for an artist that could engage the community. So that was my honor because also I work a lot with these scientists because of the environmental environmental reasons for fireflies. There are just some things about fireflies that actually makes the environment more healthy. So many people came there and were interested, genuinely interested in knowing just the creative process behind making a movie, making a book, making a painting, and making a musical of the same story, and how different each media kind of reflected it. We are just coming out of COVID, right? So people genuinely wanted to be out to see things live. So that's very humbling when you think about it. So when I don't know if when NPR passed it, it was that this thing is new, that this is a completely new form of art. So that kind of sentiment kind of arouses people's curiosity that what's new about it, that let's go see this thing. So many of the people that came, that was just their mindset, that a new kind of musical that actually combines the visual art and the performing art. I think as per this new iteration of my art, I think that is about it. There's also the movie that was screened. So my movie was screened here. And in that movie is available on the Firefly Scientist YouTube channel. It's just called My Fireflies.
Nice. Thank you very much, Matthew. Those were really beautiful pieces, and hopefully, he's mentioned his links to the video, his links to his work. We will also have those in our comments for those who would like to learn more about his work. Like everybody else, we can't get enough of Saka Nuru and his wonderful, inspiring music. So we will bring him back on. Saka, take it from here.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me once again. So the next song is called Tell Mama I'll Be All Right. And this song was inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement. Specifically, I was going down to London for the protests, and my parents were very worried that we'd get into trouble or, bad things might happen. And yet I felt a very strong sense of calm, as if things would be fine, and that when you are in the pursuit of justice or something good or better than yourself, you don't really have to worry because you know that you're doing the right thing. And so I wanted to convey that to obviously my parents at the time, to say, hey, don't worry, everything will be fine. But I imagine that other people might be feeling that same way as well. And so I wanted to share a song of hope, of inspiration, that, we are doing the right thing and everything will be fine. And so this song, there is a video for it on YouTube. So I'll share the link afterwards. But in the lyrics, you'll hear a lot about, Malcolm X as well, the Black Liberation Movement. You'll hear a lot about the sort of feelings of trying to overcome. And so I hope you can pick out some of those themes and elements. But without further ado, I'll let the organizers play the song, and I'm happy to answer any questions afterwards. But as usual, this is on Spotify and any other platforms you listen to music on. So please take it away. Thank you so much for having me at the AfroArts Festival 2021. I'm Saka, a musician based in the United Kingdom, and I'll be performing a song called Tell Mama I'll Be All Right. This song is based on the Black Lives Matter movement and how I felt about it. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and play Tell Mama I'll Be All Right, starting now.
can't save them. Can't stop the people, no slaving. Just meet me at a secret location. March till we saving our nation. We face some frustration, lead from a different foundation. Stand for your people ovation, planting the seed of our nation. We face some. Tell mama I'll be alright, tell papa I'll be alright. No stopping this freedom fight. We march and we see the light. Tell mama I'll be alright, be alright, be alright. Come on, now get closer. Climb on the giant them shoulders. Rise from the fire, get bolder. Lies we not try and we soldiers. Stay focused. Can't say we not told ya. Shine like a lion with solar. Lies we not crying emboldened. Trying to find the exposure.
Our people were colonized. They were suffering all forms of colonization, oppression, exploitation, degradation, humiliation, discrimination, and every other kind of Asian.
Freedom, blind to the crying, don't see them. Bind to the liars who need them. Strive for the higher, defeat them. With season, believe them. Lies for the holiest reason. Cries me not one of my grievance. Ties me not lose them, just deepen. This drugs were barking at the new moon, whistling a new tune. Hoping they could come soon. And then they were dogs were barking at the new moon, whistling a new tune. Hoping they could come soon. And then they were. Tell mama I'll be alright, tell papa I'll be alright. No stopping this freedom fight. We march and we see the light. Tell mama I'll be alright, be alright, be alright. Tell mama I'll be alright, tell papa I'll be alright. No stopping this freedom fight. We march and we see the light. Tell mama I'll be alright, be alright, be alright. Be alright, be alright.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all listening. I will post the music video in the chat, but as you can see, the song has a lot of deeper meaning behind it. And I'm happy to answer any questions if you type it in the chat, but thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining again, and thanks for the beautiful song, Reassuring Mothers. You know, African moms, we always think about the worst case scenario. So thank you so much for doing that song. Hopefully she felt better after that. Moving on to our next artist, we have Deanna Gale. Deanna Gale is a multi-genre recording artist from South Jersey who released her first independent recording, Beautifully Strong, LP in 2012. Deanna is also an accomplished songwriter and a plus-size model, dance instructor, and an actress. So many hats, thank you. Who started in diverse stage plays and musicals. She is currently working in her second LP, a soulful blend of Caribbean, R&B, Afrobeats, hip hops, and jazz music, which slated to be completed in 2022. Be on the lookout. We are ready for you 2022, definitely, for the new LP. So I will let you take it from here and just tell us more about your great work. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me? You can hear me? Oh, good. Excellent. Well, first and foremost, just thank you so much for having me. This is just such an honor to be a part of AfroFest. Happy Juneteenth, happy Black Music Month, happy Caribbean Heritage Month, happy celebrating our culture 365, honoring our ancestors, honoring our culture, and celebrating our successes and our contributions every single day, 365 month, right? I'll first say that. But yes, my name is Deanna Gale. I am a multi-genre recording artist, which means I do a little bit of everything. You can tap your neighbor right now and say, she do a little bit of everything, just to honor the culture. So whether it be jazz music, whether it be compa, which is a song I'm working on right now, a genre I'm working on right now, Caribbean music, Afro beats, R&B, soul, hip hop, you know, all of those things that really speak to our soul and our spirit, inspirational music, gospel, everything. I do a little bit of everything. And I'm so thankful to God for those talents. And I'm just thankful to be here. So amen and ashe. We're going to get right into it. I'm just going to do 2 songs today. The first song I'm going to do is a song called Brother. And I find it extremely appropriate considering the times that we're living in, where we as women and you as brothers have had to watch other brothers that look like you being murdered on national television every single day. You know, seeing our Black men being arrested and mistreated and excessive abuse and force being used against them. We need to show some love and shower some love upon you. And that's what I want to do today by singing this song called Brother. If my music is a little loud at any time, just kind of give me some kind of motion. I see Dorothy, so she can say, girl, down, or, you know, turn it down, or one or the other. So I'm going to get right into this right now. Thank you so much for having me again. It's an honor and it's a pleasure. Hey, can y'all hear me? You hear me, Dorothy? Hey, listen. He is my king, he is my one. Yes, he's my father, yes, he's my son. I can talk to him because he understands everything I go through and everything I am. He's my support system, I can't live without him. The best thing since sliced bread is his kiss, his hug, his lips, his judge. And I just want the whole world to know about my Black brother. I love you and I'll never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Cause you're my Black brother, strong brother, and there is no one above you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. He's misunderstood. Some say that he's up to no good around the neighborhood. But for your information, a lot of my brothers got education. Translation, you got your Wall Street brother, your blue collar brother, you're down for whatever, chilling on the corner brother, a talented brother. And to every one of y'all behind bars, you know the honor loves you. You're my Black brother. I love you and I'll never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Cause you're my Black brother, strong brother, and there is no one above you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Cause you're my Black brother, strong brother, and there is no one above you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. You mean so much to me. You give me what I need. I'm so proud of you. I love you for staying strong. You got it going on. I'm so proud of you. Going through thick and thin, brothers, you're gonna win. I'm so proud of you. Whenever you're facing down, brothers gonna work it out. I'm so proud. I got unshakable faith in your Black brother. I love you and I'll never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Cause you're my Black brother, strong brother, and there is no one above you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Cause you're my, hey, cause you're my, hey, hey, 'cause you're mine. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm here for you and only you. See, you got a sister satisfied. Yeah, yeah. Whoa, I'm here for you forever true, 'cause you're mine. Thank you so much. That's the first song. Did y'all like that? Hey, dancing along.
Love it. Oh my God, and the energy. I really can't wait for that 2021. If there's any brother that's watching that's not feeling that, then I really don't know.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So yes, I have one more song. I am on Instagram as Soulful Songstress. I saw Violet put that in there. Thank you so much. I'm on Facebook as well, just my government, Deanna Gale, DIOANAGAYLE. I'm gonna do one more song for y'all. This is just a feel-good song. It's a little reggae, because who don't love reggae? Like, I mean, if you don't love reggae, I'm gonna question your musical taste. So this song is by Bob Marley. And this was gonna vibe out a little bit. It's called Is It Love? Many of you guys probably know this song. So we're gonna get into it. This is gonna be my last song. Thank you so much. I'm honored and thank you. Hey, let's get into it. I wanna love you and treat you right. I wanna love you every day and every night. We'll be together with the roof right over our head, and we'll share a shelter of my single bed. We'll share the same room, yeah. Where God provides the bread. Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? I feel it, y'all, I feel it. Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Oh Lord, I wonder. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know now. Yes. I gotta know, I gotta know, I gotta know now. I'm willing and able. So I throw my cards on your table. I wanna love you. I wanna love and treat you right. Every day and every night we'll be together. You and me, y'all, to the altar. With the roof right over our head, and we'll share a shelter of my single bed. We'll share the same room, yeah. Where God provides the bread. Is this love, is this love, is this love, is this love that I'm feeling? Is this love that I'm feeling? Oh Lord, I wonder. I wanna know, I wanna know, I wanna know now. Put it in the chat if you're feeling it too. I gotta know, I gotta know, I gotta know now. I am willing and able. So I throw my cards on your table. I wanna love you. I wanna love and treat you right. Every day and every night we'll be together with the roof right over our head, and we'll share a shelter of my single bed. We'll share the same room where Jah provides the bread. 'Cause I wanna and treat you right. I wanna and treat you right. Say, I wanna and treat you right. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
Thank you so much, Diana. Thank you very much for that
A
beautiful
pleasure.
performance. Thank you. Great. I need to calm down. So our next performance is by Cyree Jackson Robinson. All the time we talk about #women winning.
Yeah.
We are going to see a woman winning today. So Cyree, I'm going to let you take it from there and win all the way.
All right, we're getting it started. Here we come. Hold on. All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. We're so happy to be here.
Hi, hello.
Hi, Kenyatta.
Hello. Hey, how is everyone doing today?
How are you doing?
Hi, everyone.
Great. All right.
Hi.
We have Stacy.
Hi, how are you? How's everybody? This is a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Yes.
Everybody's singing.
So I guess we're going to go ahead and just interview all of the designers and boutique owners and business owners at one time. This is the fashion segment. So I'm Cyree Melody Jackson Robinson from Fashion Forward Citizens, and we've been working so hard with putting together this beautiful presentation for you all. We have some dynamic women that are all moving and shaking in their communities and abroad. So first up, let's go with, let's see, Kenyatta Rucker.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Doing great.
That's awesome.
So Kenyatta, we want to know some more about your beautiful organization. She Wins Totally. But before we get into that, I want to know, where are you from? What's your background?
I am from St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm a St. Petersburg, true Floridian, Tampa Bay area, born and raised here, still here, and I'm loving it.
Oh, wow, wow. So Kenyatta, what got you into the fashion industry? What made you want to be able to do fashion shows and events and all of that?
Well, when it comes to fashion shows and events, I've been doing fashion shows since I was a little girl. My mom used to have me participate in pageants way back when Frank Pierce, I was Miss Frank Pierce when I was 16 years old. And I just grew a passion for, women empowerment, and just women just feeling beautiful all together. And I think, fashion just gives us the opportunity to express ourselves.
Absolutely. So as you were saying, women empowerment, tell us about She Wins Totally.
She Wins Totally is a nonprofit organization. And what our main focus is to assist women in becoming their true, authentic selves. We do a lot of different things within the community. We partner with the Bird Cares right here in St. Petersburg, where we raise AIDS awareness. We also do just different things, stop the violence events here in our community, feed the homeless, clothe women that may not have, clothing. Those are just some of the things that we do here. And I just feel like when women feel their best, they can be their best. And she wins totally because she never gives up.
That's right. I love that. Yes. So Kenyatta, where can we find out more information about She Wins Totally?
We are on all social media outlets, She Wins Totally group on Facebook. She Wins Totally on Instagram. She Wins Totally on Twitter. You can also find us at shewinstotally.com by going over to kenyattarucker.com and just navigating to She Wins Totally.
Yes, well, you're looking beautiful and you are totally winning, girl.
Thank
so
you.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Thank you
All
for the
right.
opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I believe we're going to go ahead and watch Kenyatta's fashion presentation. All right. This is the Women of Influence and the Women of Excellence located in the Tampa Bay area. They're women in the community who do all sorts of things for their community, and get ready to watch them strut their stuff on the runway. That was so beautiful, Kenyatta. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Welcome. You're welcome. Well, up next we have Stacey Angela. Stacey,
yes,
tell us a little bit about your background.
Hi everybody. First and foremost, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this opportunity. I was born in Jamaica, raised in Montclair, New Jersey, and as well as a little bit of my time in Maryland. And I'm a true Jersey girl, but also an immigrant and respect the Caribbean diaspora, the African diaspora.
Oh, that's wonderful. And could you share a little bit about your brands? You have multiple brands, and
yes.
Love to hear about that.
Yes. I have a clothing line by the name of Stay by Stacey Angela. And in addition, I have a magazine called Stay Magazine and a television show called Stacey Angela Approved Television. I truly believe in creating your own opportunity when you're getting your work out there. There's nothing like
wonderful. That. Wonderful. Now, Stacey, when it comes to Stay by Stacey Angela, I see that you are very artistic. Could you explain some of your fashion pieces and your collections to us? How they inspired by Africa as well?
Oh, absolutely. I'm very much inspired by the African diaspora and by women who travel all over the world looking amazing while this is happening. It was always some cousin or some relative or some friend of the family that was coming from around the world or wherever they were coming from. And I was always inspired by that. So you'll see a lot of really bright colors. And I tend to use, I would say 98% of my time, crochet and yarn.
Wow. And how long have you done that? I've been doing crocheting.
I've been crocheting since I was 9 years old, but I started taking it seriously at like 22 years old.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, what is your mission, like your vision for the future with your brand?
My vision for the future is to be an inspiration, not as somebody who's perfect, but somebody who went through challenges and climbed and got over those challenges and still became successful. So awesome. I want to show if I can do it, they can do it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now how can we find some of your pieces and follow you on your television network?
Sure. You can find me on Instagram at Stay by Stacey Angela. You can visit me at www.staybystaceyangela.com, and you can look up Stacey Angela Approved Television on YouTube.
Outstanding. All right. Thank you so much, sis. So now we're going to go ahead.
Guys.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Now we're going to see some of these beautiful fashions. Here we go.
Oh my darling, oh my darling, baby Jofa, you know I be loving you, are gone, you know you need this love, indeed, babu, boo, 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 ba, 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 ba. Oh no, girl you make me colo, oh no, girl you make me colo.
Oh wow, that was awesome, Stacey. That was nice.
Thank you.
I see you do a lot of swimwear, and that's awesome. When I get myself together, I'm coming to you.
Oh, you don't have to wait to get together. Everything is custom, so you can get it right now if you want to.
Well, that's good information for everybody to know, so you can do custom pieces.
Yes, absolutely. I definitely believe in that, custom for everyone, so that everyone wants to look different. They don't want to look like everybody else.
Well, that is a plus. I'm glad I said something. All right, well then I'm going to come and get my custom piece by Stacey Angela. All right. Stacey, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. This is beautiful.
You're welcome.
And hi, ladies. Congratulations to everyone.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for the beautiful pieces. Stacey, those are so unique. I must have one of those. That was really beautiful. And the first totally winning. Those were very authentic pieces that can fit anybody, basically. So both of you, that was great. And thank you so much for being part of AfroFest 2021. Today, everybody's hungry and it's actually lunchtime. So guess what? We're bringing you the cooking our eyes. So you can just sip a drink and eat with your eyes. It's gonna feel totally filling. So our first food quiz of West African traditional food, and we're gonna show you how to make orange pepper rice dish. Take it on, Matthew. Wow, that was a great lunch. Hope everybody's full, feeling better. Our next act is gonna come from the Ogene dancers, and they're gonna be introduced by Chizoma Okpi. Take it on.
Welcome, AfroArts Fest. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited to see everyone's faces and voices. I want to congratulate everyone who has went previously. Amazing work, whether it was art, music, speaking, writing, so fabulous. I'm so amazed. I'm hungry now from looking at the food. So I'm gonna get into it, and I'm going to introduce this next group, which consists of 3 young, beautiful young professionals. We have Violet Samuel Tu, Zenita Bell, and myself, Chizoma Mokbe, and we are the Ogene dancers. The Ogene dance is a dance that originates from the Igbo culture, which is located in Eastern Nigeria. This is a dance that we reconnect to our roots and we can find ourselves back home. So the Ogene dancers would like to encourage you to reconnect to your roots, and we really hope you enjoy this piece. Thank you.
Where are you guys based?
We are all based in Pennsylvania.
I'm in Maryland. That's not far, so I'll make it.
Not far. Come and join us.
Okay, so moving along, we will be moving to our next segment. And our first performance is going to be by Ekazu Bell. And he's a violinist. Oh God, that's a tongue twister, violinist. He plays the violin. So he's gonna wow with his art. I'm gonna let you take it on from here.
Hi everyone, my name is Okezle. I'll be playing a piece called Jiguner Weisen. And as the name sounds, it actually originated in Germany, but it has a lot of African pieces in it because it was built by gypsies. And they were nomadic and they traveled a lot of different places and they traveled to many African countries. And now it has its own kind of history and style, and it represents this really beautiful amalgamation between a lot of different cultures. And the reason I like it is because of the fact that there's no wrong way to play it. It's basically this really interesting compositions of notes that sound kind of funky at times, but you can put your own spin on it, and in true gypsy fashion, it has its own unique tune by every single person who plays it. And so I'll be playing it today. And feel free to type what you're feeling, where you feel like you're being taken, and what you're experiencing during the chat in the chat as I play. So here it goes. And that's how it goes. And I think it's just a really beautiful and interesting piece to play. And thank you so much for having me.
It is. That was beautiful. And thank you so much for joining and playing. I'm curious, how old are you?
I'm 15 years old.
Oh, wow. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
I could say the name of the style. Can you say it again?
Jiguner Weisen.
Oh, I have to practice. Yeah, I had Matthew try to help me pronounce it yesterday, I just couldn't. So really, thank you so much for coming. That was a beautiful performance, and thanks for being part of this. You know, hopefully we get to see you again next year, and the other year. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great. Nice. So after that piece, we're going to move on to our next our next show. And this is going to be a piece by Norbert Okpo. Mr. Okpo is a visual artist from Nigeria. He works as a surrealistic and a blend of futurism. Oh God, I can't talk today, I'm sorry. He's a member of the Society of Nigerian Artists and currently the General Secretary of the Guild of Professional Fine Artists of Nigeria. He has also participated in over 30 group exhibitions in Nigeria, Ghana, USA, and an exhibition of the works in national collection that toured the world. He can be found on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And I will give you this chance to show your beautiful work. And you're coming live from your studio, right? So we will get to see your beautiful work, and we can also share the link how we can get those pieces. Thank you.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I don't know, am I on?
Good afternoon.
Yeah, you're on. I can hear you, so take it on.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, thank you.
Sincerely, I am so grateful to the organizers. I am so happy to be here. There wouldn't have been any other better place to be but here. Sincerely, I mean, just looking at all the performers, at the point I was almost moved to tears because just to see how talented, how wonderful, how colorful we can be as Africans. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I thank God I am an African. I thank God that I'm an artist because a lot of these things have really influenced my work, my environment, the things I do, the culture of my people. It has actually influenced my work because even with what I've seen today, I'm so moved. I'm so glad that I'm here today. I'm going to start by talking about one of the pieces that I have. Okay, I don't know if they can put it on display, but I have 5 works that I have here that I'd like to show. I don't know if they can see this. Okay, some of them are up here now. Now, looking at one of them here, the lady with the heart of beads, and then with beads all over her neck, you know, talks about Nne Osanye. That is the title of that work. And for me, growing up, you know, from my hometown in Emuno, you know, just opened my eye to how colorful our people can be. And that has actually influenced me to be an artist because in my place, a lot of dances, a lot of festivals, a lot of culture. And I couldn't have been any other thing because, you know, art was just what was available for me at that point. We had a very great art teacher who took us through school, and I was inspired by the way he drew. And since then, ever since then up to today, you know, that has been the best thing that happened to me in my life. Now, talking about his work, he talked about Nne Osanye. Nne means mother, you know, mother of our mother, meaning the mother of the people. You know, we live in an environment today where we have so much insecurity, so much threats to life, so much, even as I'm talking today, there's been a protest and people are being shot at and a lot of tear gas as I speak. That happened today because today is June 12th, where the election that happened, you know, with Abiola was annulled. You know, so looking at this painting, what inspired me to do it was because I wish we can have a better society where we can have a good leader. And I thought to myself, we have had so much men come to lead our country, and they've not done us any good. And sincerely, I wish and I propose that we could have a woman leader because the care that they give, the upbringing that we all enjoy from our parents, I believe that, you know, women can actually lead this nation better because our men has actually failed. And that's what I did this work. Because I believe that this woman is a symbol of somebody who took upon herself the suffering of the people and decided to go all the way to provide for her community, to provide for her people, you know, to go take that extra step, go that extra mile to get what it takes so that her people can survive. You know, and I see that quality in our women, you know, and I know that our African women are very caring, they're very giving, not just only to their children, but even to their husband, even though as men, we have not even done well for them, but they are really giving. And I see that our country can be better led by a woman. And that's why I did this painting. And the next one, which is, I call it the strength of a woman. You know, still again on women, because again, I appreciate the fact that I'm an artist today is because of the fact that I had a lot of women in my life. You know, without them, I would not be where I am right now. From when my father died, my stepmom took over my responsibility and ensured that I went through school and I was able to pass my exams. She did not see me as the other woman's child, but she took me as her own child. And ever since then, I've been very grateful to her. And even as I speak, and every now and then, I'm always been there for her because of what she did for me. You know, and even after then, my curator today is a woman. The gallery I work with is handled by a woman, and I work with that. I'm on this platform today is because of a woman. And I would say thanks to Ngozi Bell for inviting me to be part of this. I am so grateful. Women have made a lot of impact in my life, and my work has really talked so much about women. You know, so this woman, this work I talk about the strength of a woman, you know, how they go out every day to hustle. If you look at the background, there's a lot of activities, a lot of hustle and bustle. That is what we see in our women today. Gone are the days where women sit back at home and make the food and feed the children. Now our women go all out to work, to hustle, to make money and provide for the family. It's amazing what we have back home. Yes, I don't know how it is in the diaspora, but here back at home, our women are doing a lot. They are taking care of the homes, they are feeding the family, they are putting food on the table. And that is what this work resonates with me, and that is what inspired me to do this painting. You know, I have another one, you know, that I call Who Am I? Okay, I don't know if it can be put up. I call that painting Who Am I? It's a question, a quest for identity. This is a young lady who all her life, even growing up, she's a dancer. Yes, this particular one. She's a dancer. But it got to a point as she grew, she started feeling like, why am I a dancer? Why can't I be a doctor? Why can't I be a lawyer? Why am I black? Why can't I be white? Why can't I be this? Why can't I be that? We all go through that one time in our life. And I see that in such situation, a lot of people have been misled into going the wrong direction. Okay, where you get to a certain point in your life, you begin to question who you are, your identity. Why am I who I am? Why am I a man? Why can't I be a woman? Why am I a woman? Why can't I be a man? It's amazing what is happening in our society today. And that was what inspired me to do this work. You know, questioning our identity, you know, where we come from. Why am I a Nigerian? What can't I have been why can't I be in UK, Canada, Australia, Germany? We wish to be somewhere else. But the God that has made it possible for us to be where we are had a reason and a purpose for why we are where we are. And the only thing I think is that sometimes we just need to look inward, because we all have a purpose. We all have a duty to our community, to our society. And if we can look inward, we'll be able to see that, yes, we are all important to one another. We are all useful to one another. There's a reason why we are all connected in one way or the other. Whether we are black, whether we are white, you can see that even today as I speak, there's a lot of cross-cultural influences. There's a lot of intermarriages going on. You know, the white marrying the black, black marrying the white, it's amazing what is happening. That is to show you that there is no barrier. There is no barrier. There's no question of, oh, why should I be this? Why should I? Who you are is important, because you are someone that God has created. You are someone that God has made for a reason and for a purpose. We are actually made for more, and that is the truth. And that is why I did this painting. That is why I inspired this word, because I want to tell the world that whoever you are, whatever you find yourself, there is a reason why you are there. You just need to look inward and see what you can do to better the community, to add value to the lives of people. Because the truth of the matter is, even if you are a Canadian, even if you are in the UK, and you are not useful to your people, there is no, I don't know what else you could be. We are here for a reason. We are here to connect to one another. We are here to be able to work together. Because I remember a passage in the Bible that I read one time, that if the hand chooses to leave the body or decide to stay away from the body, how would the body look like? Or if the head decides to be the leg, how would the body look like? Or if the eye becomes the mouth, how would the body look like? The God that has made the eye where it is, or the mouth where it is, or the nose where it is, or giving us a hand where it is, there is a reason for that. And everything is so perfect and so unique. So we don't have any reason to begin to doubt, to begin to worry, to begin to say, oh, why should I be this? Why should I be black? Why should I be white? Why should I be a singer or a dancer? Why can't I be a doctor? In fact, growing up, my mother wanted me to be a doctor. My mother wanted me to be a lawyer. And I could not be any other thing but an artist. And I'm happy being an artist, because sincerely, today I'm able to document, I'm able to record, I'm able to visualize, my community, document them for posterity. I'm able to put things down that people can look at in 20 years to come, and be able to know that, oh, this and this happened. In fact, the work I'm doing is right behind me at the background, talks about how we got our independence from 1960 up to date. All the events, the Civil War, all the killings, they are all right here. How June 12th was annulled is all right here. How the protests that happened at Lekki Phase 1 is all right here. And so, sincerely, I am so happy, to be an artist, and that I'm able to document what, I'm surrounded with, my community. Africa is a colorful place. Nigeria is a colorful environment. We are so rich. We are diverse in culture, in ethnicity, in language. It's so blessed to a point that I think we don't even know what to do with what God has blessed us with. Sincerely, that is what I feel.
Albert, that is really great. I wish we had a lot more time for this, because it's really beautiful. First of all, your art is beautiful to look at. And the way you tie it into the community, just, giving us an urge to add value to our community, embrace who we are. There's a lot of teaching behind your work. So we really appreciate it for that and for having you. I wish we had more time. Hopefully next year, Ms. John, we can bring Mr. Norbert back for more of his work. Thank you so much for being part of the show today, and definitely looking forward to working with you more about this. And hopefully, Miss Ngozi can put your links on the chat so we can know how to get your pieces. They're available within the United States, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so definitely we will try and get some. I love them. They're visually beautiful, and they're actually meaningfully beautiful, just from what you've explained to us. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you. So we're quickly going to jump on to our next segment. So we're going to bring back Miss Sairi real quick for just a brief 5-6 minute show of a bridal African fashion. Take it on, Sairi.
All right, we're back. Okay, and we found El Boy's bread. Okay, so here we are. Welcome, welcome. We are so excited to see your presentation. We wanted to go ahead and introduce you to everyone and learn some more about El Boy's Bridal and Beyond. So, Lakosha, could you tell us a little bit about your background and where you're from?
Okay, so I am from Jessup, Georgia, which is about 30 minutes of where I reside now. My shop here is in Hinesville, Georgia. It's called El Boy's Bridal and Beyond. I started out about 6 years into this fashion, And it's been nothing but glamorous and glorious all at the same time to actually have the gift to be a creator in fashion. Just a little bit about the fashion that you're going to see today.
Okay.
It's a southern glam, Paris mentality type thing. So we're going to see a little bit of couture. It's only a couple of pieces, but I hope the show come through very vibrant and fun for you guys. I wholeheartedly believe every woman is of royalty. No matter what your background is, whether if it's a silver spoon type of royalty, or if it's money related royalty, or it's because you're an everyday woman and you crown yourself every day knowing who you are and whose you are. And so that's where I get the royalty of believing every woman is who she is and where she is, and she can look a part just as well, you know, put on her accessories and her crown and walk on out the door and conquer the day, no matter what she's doing. Being a mom, a judge, a doctor, a designer, what may have you. But I just wanted to tell you, you know, just be you, be who God created you to be, you know, use that energy in you and walk that path and flow. But I introduce you to our line, L Boys, a little bit of fashion, fun, couture.
All right, here we go.
Girl, you bad, you be bad past a job. Mexico, Odo yewe. Jolly beautiful, you be busting my brain. Hey, na na. Hey. Give me your love, your love, your love. Give your love to me, love to me. Shay, be my queen. See this your body up with more than my money. My money. Check. Oh my mela mela mela. Oh my mela mela mela. Oh you bella bella bella. Oh you bella bella bella. Melanin mela mela mela. Oh my mela mela mela. Oh you bella bella bella. Oh you bella bella bella. My heart go pam pam, deep pam pam, a deep pam pam. Oh mela mela mela, mela mela mela. My heart go pam pam, deep pam pam, oh, deep pam pam, oh mela mela mela, mela mela mela. Melanin, melanin, melanin. Them I talk like they know us. See this all up, see this all up. This kind of love cannot be touched. Yeah. My shady cocoa, pass me a loving, pass me a loving, pass me a loving. I give you M all night, I make you feel almighty. Oh, give me your love, give me your love. Oh my mela mela mela, oh my mela mela mela. Oh you bella bella bella, oh you bella bella bella. Melanin mela mela mela, oh my mela mela mela. Oh you bella bella bella, oh you bella bella bella. My heart go pam pam, deep pam pam, a deep pam pam. Oh mela mela mela, mela mela mela. My heart go pam pam, deep pam pam, oh, deep pam pam, oh mela mela mela. Mela, mela, mela. Melanin, melanin. Team salute.
This is brought to you by The Dream ENT, where we make all your dream videos come true. You can contact us at 912-266-3708 or look at our website at thedreame.net.
All right. Wow. Yeah.
Lovely. Those were beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And to answer the question, this was shot in Forsyth Park, Savannah, Georgia. We're just trying to represent, Georgia down this area. So Savannah is good for knowing about history, especially African-American history in Savannah. So we shot it down Forsyth Park in Savannah, Georgia.
Thank you.
Wow.
So beautiful pieces, nice environment. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, Cyril, I know you have one more session coming up, or did you have anybody else for this?
Yes, we have two more. They're going to be on the same reel, and we are actually all ready to go. We have here Charity Mackey with Rough Diva Boutique. It's an online boutique. So Charity, I want to go ahead and let you tell us a little bit about your background, where you're from, and a little bit more about your brand and your other businesses.
I am originally from Georgia, Brunswick, Georgia to be exact. But as a young lady, me, my mom, and my sister relocated to Florida, the Tampa Bay area, and I currently reside there to this day.
Oh, wow, wow. So what got you into the fashion industry?
I met you.
All right, okay.
Sari and I have been friends for a very long time, and we started fashion of
years and years
ago.
We'll just say that.
We're not going to say that. But we started our first production company when we were just
19,
out of high school.
Yeah.
And so I've been in fashion for a very long time. And
like your brand, Rough Diva, like how did that come about?
Well, the name came about because I was a tomboy growing up, and baggy jeans, t-shirt, combat boots every single day at school. But I really had this butterfly moment when I graduated where I really wanted to look like I felt. And one thing about it is being plus size back when I was younger, the fashion wasn't there to make me feel like a young woman should. And so Rough Diva comes from me going from being a tomboy to a rough diva. Now I'm no longer a tomboy, I'm just a rough diva. And this is just for all the rough divas that are out there that I know grew up playing in the dirt, mud, and deciding that it was okay to put on a dress and heels.
All right.
And then for my brand, I specialize inclusively for all women, for all sizes and shapes. But I specialize for plus size. I like to find clothing that fit women of plus size stature, because one, I'm plus size and so is my daughter. And I did not want her to grow up in a world where she couldn't find anything that made her feel like she was on the inside, on the outside. And so I have clothes that are inclusive for all sizes, but I specialize in plus size women.
And there's one last thing I wanted to learn, like share with everyone else. You mentioned your daughter, and you do have a nonprofit that you're working on right now currently. Could you tell us a little bit briefly about that?
I have a nonprofit, it's called Fabability, and I'm working on it right now because when my daughter's currently 16 and she's getting ready to go into the 11th grade, but in 4th grade, she was, we woke up one morning and she was in intense pain and she could not walk. And she was in such a pain, I had to drag her to the car to take her to the emergency room. They did not know what she had for months. And she was finally diagnosed with AMPS, which is Amplified Musculoskeletal Pain Syndrome, which will turn into fibromyalgia when she becomes an adult. And even just this year, she's been in her wheelchair 5 or 6 months, and we're currently 6 months of this year, and she was unable to go to school because of that pain. And she used to be in dance and soccer, taking different classes that she had to stop doing because of the pain that she was in, because she was in intense pain. Usually she was in a wheelchair. Sometimes couldn't use her hands either for 10 months out of the year, and we only have 12. So Fabability was created so that she could have a group of kids that have a disability that she could network with, because there were not groups that were for her.
So you're now you're doing your fashion brand, and you could be able to incorporate,
and I'm combining them all together because she loves fashion. And so Fabability stands for differently disabled still fabulous.
Wonderful. Now tell us how we can be able to find more information about your brand and your movement, especially with Rough Diva right now, what we're going to showcase next.
Well, Rough Diva is, you can find it at www.roughdiva.com, ROUGHDIVA.com.
Okay.
And you can also find us on Facebook at Rough Diva, and you can also find us on Instagram, Rough Diva as well.
Oh, wonderful. So let's see some of that Rough Diva in just a moment. We're going to go straight to Je ne sais couture. So we're going to switch places. All right, we're going to interview Gina, and then we'll go right back to the video. Okay, that's a two-part video. Charity will be at the end, and you'll see Gina in the opening. So this is Gina from Je ne sais couture. Gina, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great, Gina. Like I was asking everybody else, I want to know, and I want everyone else out here to know, where are you from? What is your background?
Hey, Sari, we can see Gina. The video is still up.
Oh, there you go. Can you see? Okay.
Okay, my name is Georgina Boama, originally from Ghana in West Africa, and I've been in this country since 2011, and I've been here since then and loving it.
Loving it. Okay, so how's your business? What do you do exactly with your fashions? What you do, like your audience and everything?
So basically, I was working till since I came to 2014 when I had my daughter, and I couldn't go back to work. And then because I did fashion back home in Ghana, I decided to go into doing my own thing because I don't want to be a housewife.
Yes.
So I started sewing, and then I discovered so many people need African outfits in my my environment. So I started doing it from home, and then I got a shop, and I've been having
like a lot
good
of
time with my
clients.
So
Yeah.
yes.
What type of clients do you have would come into your shop normally?
I make everything basically.
Yes, that's true.
So I have I make prom outfits. I do wedding clothes alterations, and basically I do everything. And my clients love me because if you want to be unique, just come to me.
Yes, that is such a fact. I've seen you do a lot. Like when we talk about the things that you've done, what about the community that we're in here? What have you done in our community here in the Lehigh Valley and abroad, actually?
Community, being an African, I go with everybody, especially with African, because my community has a lot of African American, and then me knowing the needs of fashion in the community, I try to do so many things with Miss Siri here, Mrs. Nagazi.
Oh my gosh, the list just goes on because a lot of people come to you,
Ngozi,
and a lot of the aspiring models. He works with a lot of the models here.
Yes, and also Miss with the Black
Carrie Holmes.
Yes,
I'm trying to think.
So
there's a lot.
I try to make myself available for every African event that is happening.
Yes.
Even if I'm not able to make it, I make sure I give them some clothes to represent my brand.
That is so beautiful. And like I said before, tell us how we can reach out to you, how we can contact you and get ourselves some custom pieces.
I used to have a shop, but because of Corona, I moved to I work from home now. I still sew for every occasion. And then I'm on Instagram, Je ne sais couture, and Facebook, Je ne sais couture.
Oh,
even though my shop is closed, my business is wide open.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Well, we are so thankful to have you, and I've enjoyed working with you myself. So now we are ready to see the magic.
See, I'm nothing without your love. From the bottom, last bit, you raised me up. See all the bad things I did, oh, you still did bless me. And now I see, oh, no, 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 yeah. And now I see, oh, no, 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 yeah. And now I see, oh, no, 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 yeah. And maybe I'm a senior from my girl.
for the Father to bless me. But the game no easier, especially if you will every manager. One enter, if you no give up, you turn matter. Close tight legs, don't get you. As you know, make it chop, you won't be on top. And I see you, I know you me. And I see you, I know you me. And I see you, I know you me. Every I'm a senior from my friend. I now so when I'm my friend, yes, and I have friend. See, I'm nothing without your love. From the bottom last pit, you raised me up. See all the bad things I did, oh, you still did bless. 1, 2, 3 for my jiggers. 1, 2, 3 for my divas. Why? Hey, 2, 3, 3, Ghana woman. If you love it, let me see you double fingers. That girl with the swagger, yeah, yeah. You run the place, you run things everywhere you should. You are the biggie boss, you never did depend. You run the place, you run things everywhere you should. 1 time for the woman who be showing up. 2 time for the woman with the stronger. If you love Miss V, put your hands up. Everywhere we go, we scatter. Hot girl with the world on her shoulder. If you see her smile, no be joko. She is strong, she will never back down. Everywhere we go, we scatter. African woman, you will fight. You will do, you will do. When African woman, you will fight. You will do, you will do. What you got? You will do, you will do, you will do. African woman, you will do. Yeah. No be me who said it, no be me who talk up. If you look around, you can see who's stronger. Give you all we got, no retreat, no surrender. Yeah, no retreat, no surrender. No be me who said it, no be me who talk up. If you look around, you can see who's stronger. Give you all we got, no retreat, no surrender. Yeah, no retreat, no surrender.
Say yeah. Original bad girl. Me I know they said to me I get that word. Me I get the bag, mama taught me well. So make you set and walk. Watching me fly, me a bad girl. Calling on the kingdoms around the world. Say me a woman, be a better woman, independent woman, say a strong woman, dedicated woman, motivated woman, and a wise woman. It's a loving woman. Say no be me I said it, no be me I talk up. If you look around, you can see who's better. Give you what you got, no retreats, no surrender. Oh, no retreats, no surrender. No be me I talk up, no be me I said it. If you look around, you will see who's better. Give you what you got, no retreat, no surrender. Oh, no retreat, no surrender.
1 time for the woman who be showing up. 2 time for the woman with a strong heart. If you love Miss V, put your hands up. Everywhere we go, we scatter. Hot girl with the world on her shoulder. If you see her smile, no be joko. She is strong, she will never back down. Everywhere we go, we scatter. African woman, you will fight. You will do, you will do. When African woman, you will fight. You will do.
Thank you. That was not just inspiring, but really beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Love it.
That was fun.
Love it. Love it. Hopefully you get one of the pieces of some of our artists. They're beautiful. So we'll quickly move on to our next our next session. Our time is running a bit faster than we want it to because we're having a beautiful day, but time has its own way of just stopping us. So I would like to remind our performers and artists to be just mindful of the time, so we are not keeping people here much longer than we should be. But we're very ready for Mr. Shota, and he's gonna do the talking drums. Take it on.
For that, my name is John Adekunle Shota. I'm here to just perform a little drum, just to commemorate what is going on. You know, as we all know, countries are divided by the walls and the culture. So also the African and African drums. We are known to, you know, with drums. You know, these are the things that actually plays a very important role in our lives. In those olden days, you know, they represent the physical, emotional, spiritual things. You know, African drums are played to communicate, to celebrate, to mourn, even to inspire. For many of you that doesn't know, you know, some of us has left the African country for so long, we're here, and they still play important role even in the peace and war, in the death, the birth, the planting, the harvest. So you know, I'm not sure how many of you that have been to, you know, kind of grew up in Africa. You know, when you hear the word something like that, you hear the second one, you hear the third one, you hear there's a possibility that the king is coming in. And then when it follows, you hear these are the things that signifies that these are things that kind of draws the balance between what is going on and what, you know, what is actually happening. So I'm gonna play one thing for you, and I'm gonna accompany that just to show you, you know, what I'm trying to explain. Sister, can you play? Something like this. So you hear something like this also. that is what you see when it comes to Africa. So I'm just going to play a little bit for you guys to just understand, or to see if you want to dance to it. So you do. Thank you so much.
Woo! Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. I enjoyed it so much I forgot to unmute. Great. So moving along, real quick, we're going to have the Kabibi cultural dancers from Kenya. Yay. And they'll be introduced by Rosalind Chisnell Omari. Take it on.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Rosalind. I'm with Anchor for Immigrants USA. I'm also organizing secretary for Kenya community in Northeast. I'm a member of CAMLEV, Cameroonian group in Lehigh Valley. I'm also a CEO for Lusada Corporation. This is the fastest growing corporation that is open for people from all over to join, African Americans, everybody to join, because it's going to be actually, we'll be investing all over, like starting here in America and Africa also. But for me to have mentioned all those things, I want to go and thank NIAPA group for coming up with this great event that bring us, all of us together. I myself, as a young girl, I used to actually be performing this cultural dancing. And I went to Michigan State where I used to be part of it. I used to teach and also perform cultural dancing. And this is what brings us together as a group of people. And I want to say that we should continue doing this kind of event because it's actually bond us together with, and also shows the world good things about Africa than just what we see in the news, where they don't show the good pictures when they're portraying how Africa is. So this event, I'm really happy to be part of it. So I want to say that back home, mostly like in African communities, there's always like they always have dancing for, like when a child is born, they'll have a special dance, and like you see the drum that just came on, that'll be part of it. When there's rain come, there'll be special dance and special music. When a child is born, there'll be special music and special dance. When it's time to grow, to plant, and the rains have come, there'll be special dance and all that. So I'm really proud to introduce Kabibi cultural dancers. And we also have a renowned traditional dancer, musician in the house, Mr. K. And so for this group, the choreographer is Joseph Baraza. And thank you so much.
Fest for organizing and inviting us to this African cultural event. I am Joseph Wamonyota, the organizing secretary and the choreographer to Kibabii University Cultural Dances. We are located in western part of Kenya in a small town called Bungoma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful performance. Definitely let Kabibi dancers know we appreciate their talent very, very much. So we're going to move on to our next act, and it's going to be a show of paintings by Alexis Ikemba.
My name is Alexis Ikemba. I'm a junior at Bishop Lynch High School right now, and my African heritage is Nigerian. My dad is from Nigeria, and some hobbies I do are soccer, tennis, and violin, which also influence my art. And art-wise, I do traditional art and digital art, and I'm also a webtoon creator, which is an online comic site, and I created the cover for the new publication, The Modern Green Book, the Waves edition. It pretty much promotes Black-owned businesses all over the US. And I also designed some planner covers for my school.
Now that's amazing introduction. So tell us a bit about the picture that's up on the screen.
So this first picture I titled The Colors of Music. It's in acrylic paint and I made it last year. This was earlier in my art journey, I kind of did more acrylic paints. And I think that for this painting specifically, I think that music is an amazing way to express emotion. And I think it's a really important part. Art and music, I think are the most important parts of any culture. And I think it's a huge part of Nigerian culture, especially. So yeah, I kind of tried to create a jazz kind of vibe to this painting.
Yeah. It's very beautiful and unique. Tell me about this lady.
So this one I titled The Strength in Beauty. And this one is a Kenyan actress, Lupita Nyong'o. I drew it because she talked about how she grew up being made fun of for having darker skin. But when she got older, she ended up becoming a model, an actress, a very successful woman, and dismantled kind of all of the Eurocentric beauty standards that a lot of people
we've been accustomed to.
Yes.
Nice.
She kind of redefined what beauty meant. And I think that a quote that kind of encompasses what I was trying to accomplish with this picture is a quote by her. You can't eat beauty, it doesn't feed you. Beauty was not a thing that I could acquire or consume. It was something I just had to be. You can't rely on how you look to sustain you. What actually sustains you, what is fundamentally beautiful, is compassion for yourself and for those around you. That kind of beauty inflames the heart and enchants the soul.
That's extremely powerful. How old are you, Alexis?
I'm 17.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. You're doing great work, and definitely we would like to see more of your work. If you have a link, we'll share it in the comments. I see you have a lot more work. Time is not on our side today, but I'm very, very proud of you. What you're doing is very impressive. This is interesting. Tell me about this one.
So this one, I titled To Face Reality, and it's kind of a piece about reality versus imagination, which actually we've been reading a lot of literature on postmodern literature in school about that. But the rose on the top of her head kind of represents realism, like what life is really like and how it can sometimes let you down. And then the flowers in the hair kind of represent surrealism, which is kind of dreamlike illusion kind of feel to it. So that's what I was
nice. Great. Thank you so much for sharing your work with us and being part of AfroFest 2021. Hopefully we can have you on next year and more years. You're younger, so you'll probably be on this show for the next 50 years, right? And more.
Thank you for the
Thank you very much for your time. Moving along, we're going to eat one more time, and this time we're going to Uganda. Uganda is part of East Africa, right next to Kenya, and we're going to be experiencing the Uganda matoke, which is basically a mash from bananas. So. Wow, wow, wow. Amazing. So today we have got to experience amazing culture, wonderful, wonderful performances, beautiful people, all about Africa. So this event was organized by some of us, and you're gonna get to, you heard about them, but you're gonna get to meet them in a quick video right after this session. And we will, after this, we will have a breakout session where, you know, we can go to different groups and discuss different things. I also want to thank the event organizers for believing in me and hoping that I could put the sprinkles onto your beautiful event. So thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to coming back again next time. So there go your organizers in the next video. Take it away.
Jerusalem, ikayalami, ngilondoloze, uambenami, zungangishilana. Jerusalem, ikayalami, ngilondoloze, uambenami, zungangishilana. I'm not perfect, I came from ruthless times. I Siboro, down to Ikorodu.
Yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana ilondoloze zuhambe nami dawo yami ayikholana buso wami awukholana.
Nice, and that officially marks the end of our presentation today. I'm going to give you back to you, Violet, so you can close. Violet is the manager of this project. Thank you.
Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yep.
So thank you everyone for attending this event. I don't know about you all, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I loved hearing the different talks, hearing the reading, seeing the different artwork and the different videos that we got to experience. I love that even though we're all far apart on various continents even, we're still together, right, on this event. I hope everyone, got to feel some kind of reconnection to our African roots from this event. If you actually, can we show where everyone is calling in from? If you could write in the chat, like what city, state, what country you're from, just so we can see. Okay, Pennsylvania, UK, Allentown, Texas. Okay, Lagos, Maryland, Kenya. Beautiful, beautiful. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I think Mrs. Bell and Mr. Salako, did you guys want to say anything or add anything?
Yes, I just, this is, my name is Gabriel Abayo Misalako. I'm the president of NIAPA. The NIAPA is a sponsor of this event. NIAPA means Nigerian International Association of Pennsylvania. This event wouldn't be able to happen without some of you guys who have made it possible and girls that have made it possible. As you can imagine, transitioning from in-person to a virtual art festival, it presents a lot of challenge for our event team. Not so long ago, hosting an event like this seemed improbable, but thanks to some incredible people, we're able to gather here today to celebrate our culture and heritage through arts. I would like to start thanking the multiple talented people who put this event together, such as Ngozi Bell and her team, Joanne Gare and her team, Violet Samotu, Irene Samotu, thank you. Bola Salau, thank you. Zenita Bell, thank you. Kester, Hugo, thank you. I'd like to thank some of our artists also, the new artists and the artists that have been there with us in the past. I'd like to thank you all. And we hope to do this again sometime. Also, the most important people that helped us, the Pennsylvania Partnership in Art. We thank them for their recognition and ongoing support that they've given to us. Without them, we probably wouldn't be able to have this event. I hope you guys can join us next time when we have this event again. We have more people to participate and get together in person. We will be putting up the recording of this event on our YouTube channel. If you want to take a look at it, it will be nice. Please have a good time. And I think there's more get together after this. Am I correct, Violet?
Yes, so if anyone's interested, we'll do a breakout room just to kind of chat and get to know each of you individually before we dismiss for the day. I also wanted to point out the survey that Dr. Were was referring to. If each of you could please take a look and kind of give us feedback. It will give us an idea of what to emphasize on for next time, what to do more of, what to do less of, just to get better quality shows in the future.
Yeah.
And I also want to thank Dr. Were for being our lovely MC host today. I just added in the chat, let me add it here.
Our contact.
Actually her website for the organization. She's part of a medical missions that helps, they work in Kenya. So if you guys can take a look, please.
It cuts it short.
So I just wanted to, Sobi, Sobi, very nice to hear your voice.
Just kind of struggling with it a little bit. So
maybe you thought can we mute that?
But that was a good speech though.
Yeah. So anyway, this is Ngozi Bell. So I do want to say that what was so beautiful about this year that I don't want us to miss is that just like Violet had said, we didn't get an opportunity to do this in 2020. And trying to do this in 2021 was an interesting adventure, right? We decided that we were going to do it, and we decided we'd do it differently. So Violet and her team have done an outstanding job in sort of creating the vision around an online event. So I am super stoked. I am super proud. Even recently, we thought of perhaps postponing it or canceling it. And I'm so happy that we didn't. So just kudos to everybody. And I just want to quickly just say to everyone who has participated, we are giving you a carte blanche invitation to our 2021 live event. We've been known to be sort of the curators and the holders of art in the Lehigh Valley. We want to make this bigger than that. You know, it's New York, it's Delaware, it's Pennsylvania, and we want to expand it to the world. So we hope that you would come and be with us again next year. We're also working with Westchester Biotech, so shout out to Joanne.
Excellent.
And one of the things that we're looking at doing with Westchester Biotech is to look at additional programming in the future that will be online, because we think that the world has changed, and in this changed world, we're going to have to keep communicating this way. So we're hoping to continue this programming. So you'll see some things coming out in the next few months, and we're going to be featuring some particular artists. We already have a couple of artists who have said absolutely they want to be part of that, just sort of a merging of science and art, because we believe that that synergy is so critical to having a life balance, and what more to do that with an African art. So again, thank you to everyone. I think everyone has said anything that I could say. So Saka, fantastic, just really loved Alexis. We want you back. Ibinka, your partner always. Jide, fantastic speech, really impressed. And Norbert, your partner. We couldn't do this without you. The Organet dancers, you guys are just amazing. Always faithful, always there, always good to us. And all the wonderful people that joined us, whether called or uncalled. Sairi, you are a class act. We just cannot do these things without you. And
thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And Dorothy, you did a fabulous job. You know, they said you could do it. You showed up, you did it. So thank you so much to everyone. And I guess breakout rooms for those who want to try and mingle. Or Joanne, did you want to say a word? Joanne?
Hi there. Of course, right when you invite me to speak, my landlord is now going to mow the grass in the background. So I just want to say what an honor it has been. We have just loved everyone we have met. And I want to give big acknowledgement to Matt Bedenko, who really brought all the technology together. And, you know, in a program this long, there's always some interesting moments, but Matt's done a beautiful job of keeping things cooking. So thank you, Matt. Big ups for you. So essentially, that's the show. And now we can have some breakout rooms so everybody can just visit with each other. But everybody, please put on your cameras and open your microphones and let's make some noise.
Thank you, everyone. See you soon.